What is up, everybody? Here for another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Spartacus Blood and Sand, episode one entitled Red Serpent. Guys, it's crazy to think that, hey, yo, it's been 15 to 16 years since this show premiered, and where it is now from where it's come from. And so it's time to start at the beginning, where it all started. And so before I get into my review and my thoughts, guys, we got to give a score. And if you're new to the channel, scoring system is 0 to 5, 0 being trash and 5 being a masterpiece. So, guys, I gave this one a 3. Now, it was I thought it was all right episode, a good episode, pretty good episode. I liked There was quite a bit I liked in it, and there was quite a bit that brought it down. Like I said, there were some highlights and definitely lowlights, and we'll talk about that in the review. So I'm going to give try to give a brief synopsis before I give those thoughts. So basically, the plot of the story, we start with Spartacus in the bowels of the arena in Capua. And then we go back before he got there. What led him up to getting there? And what we land on is Spartacus, and I'm gonna refer to him as Spartacus because we know if you watch the show, his name is never revealed. He's called he and little man, and his wife, sir, I don't think she even refers to him as anything like so. But anyway, he's with a group of Thracians, this alliance of Thracians. Rome is asking for their services to join their auxiliary led by that piece of shit Glaber, to help them deal with this Greek faction that they're dealing with. They need some help. And of course, Spartacus steps up and is just like, what is it? What's in it for us? And he tells them, hey, Glaber's like, the Gittae have been giving you guys problems. We'll help you deal with the Gittites if you help us. And Spartacus is like, no. We can do that ourselves. We push them back all the time. What we need them gone.
From God!
Forever, like annihilate. Take them out. And so Glaber agrees. Now, Spartacus links back up with Sura, his wife, and she has these prophetic visions, and she tells him of she saw that he would be kneeling in front of a serpent, and he would have to do great, terrible things, if I'm saying that correctly. And so she pleads with them not to leave, but Spartacus is like, I gave them my word. Right there, Spartacus is an honorable man. I gave him my word. I have to go, baby. I gotta go. So you know what that means. Yeah, he clapped them cheeks before before he left. And hey, I don't blame him because I do the same thing too. And so he takes off and he goes with the Romans and Glaber. And let me just tell you, man, this is how you know the Romans is just pieces of shit. At least Glaber is, man. The Thracians and Spartacus, they're doing work. They're handling business. They're battling these Greeks. And you see, well, you don't see, but you can imagine Romans are nowhere to be found, sitting in the cut, sitting here looking. It reminds me of that scene on Braveheart. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Send in the Irish. Send the Irish in. So they send the Thracians and the other auxiliary in. They handle the work. So later on, Spartacus is tasked with, scouting ahead. And what he scouts and what he finds is the Gittites are heading towards Thrace, towards his people. They're unguarded. He's breaking this down to Glaber like, hey, our women, our supplies, they're unguarded. If we go, we can cut them off before they even get there. Now, what we learn is Glaber, he's up against it. We meet his beautiful wife, Lithia. But what we find out is daddy, father-in-law, is not too happy with Glaber. It's like he puts Glaber in these situations to exceed, and Glaber always falls short. And the thing about the Roman people and this Roman society, it's all about achievement, honor, glory, and laurels. And if you can't make a name for yourself, well, then, people don't want to deal with you. It's all about creating reputation and things of that sort. And Glaber is just a guy who can't, the motherfucker just can't get right. He can't do it. He can't make it happen. And so feeling that pressure, that causes him to ignore Spartacus's pleas and decides to go, hey, no. This is what we're going to do. We're going after these Greeks because the thing is, Glaber's father-in-law set him up in that position to get this glory, but it appears somebody else is going to get the glory before him. So Glaber wants to be the first to strike and make it happen. And so this causes friction between him and the auxiliary. And we get Spartacus having his first revolutionary moment where he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And this causes dissension among the ranks to the point where the auxiliary guys they attack and they end up killing all the Romans except Glaber, which oh my god, it's one of those where you're like, because one of the guys, Dresden, I think I'm saying his name right, says, "What do we do with him?" And Spartacus is like, just leave him in the dirt. Let him, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, let him know what it feels like to be up in the dirt, since he thinks he sits so high. So my boy Spartacus, he's bailing home, man. He's bailing home. He's trying to get home as fast as he can. And he gets there just in time as Sura so happens to be in the middle of nowhere picking some fruit in the fucking dead of winter. Never mind, but she's out there and the Gittites are starting to close in on her. And hey, respect to Sura, man. She keeps keeps a woman on deck. She's ready to get busy and she holds it down. But she's about to get overwhelmed. And of course, Spartacus comes out of nowhere. Captain America shield flying in the air. He's throwing blades, and them two together, they take him out. But the sad truth about the situation is their whole village is wiped out. Everybody they know is dead. They're feeling bad, and so they end up getting away, and then they're in a tent and they're talking, and Spartacus is like, "Hey, I got some people down south. We'll go down south," and of course, to take their mind off of their sorrows, I wanna lay you down. That boy Spartacus clapping them cheeks again. And so they wake up to the beautiful morning. And that morning is interrupted by Glaber and the fucking Romans. And I mean, they put belt the ass on Spartacus. They bag up Sura and basically says, and Spartacus is pleading like, hey, it's on me. It's on me. Leave my wife. And he goes, nah, your wife is condemned to slavery. And they put his ass on a boat and your fucking ass is going to be executed. And so it comes full circle. We end up in Capua in the bows. And basically all those guys, they're lined up for execution. Dresden, he gets taken out. And of course, Spartacus is the final one. But the thing is, Glaber, to impress the people of Capua, and importantly, his father-in-law, he brought all these slaves to be executed. Matter of fact, these guys kind of bring up, hey, this isn't fair. Yeah, why you got him? Everybody else got as if you want to call it a fair one-on-ones, where you got this guy, he got Spartacus 5-on-1 because he wants to embarrass Spartacus for what, he did to him. But ultimately, our boy Spartacus is getting his ass kicked. But as he's on his knees, bloodied, on one of the shields, there's a red serpent, and it activates him because he knows Sura's vision. This is it. This is a sign. So if he can stay alive, maybe he can get to her again. So my boy he gets active, and he goes and he cuts them boys up and sends them to the Shadow Realm and sends one more embarrassment of one of many more embarrassments he sends to Glaber. And of course, Glaber's like, can't believe it. Like, this motherfucker, I had him. And so, the episode ends right there. And we know he ends up in the House of Batiatus after this episode. Now let's talk about, some of the things I liked about the episode. I did like the introduction of Spartacus, I thought, in Sura. Spartacus, I think a lot of his story, you can definitely see the influence of Gladiator, his story, and Maximus. So he's kind of given off, the stoic, the strong leader, honorable man. That's what I saw. And then Sura, who is the emotional center of everything. Her presence is throughout the whole franchise. Not physically necessarily, but the presence and Spartacus' yearning and his love for her is what really keeps the man going when he's in his low points. And that's throughout the whole franchise. And also Glaber. Yes, I mean, he's a piece of shit, but at the same time, he is a compelling antagonist. I mean, there are points where if you're really objective, you kind of feel sorry for him because it's like this guy, he can't get it right. He just can't win his father-in-law over, and he tries, But it's like whenever he has something lined up, he'll take a step forward and he falls two steps back. And we'll see that on and on and on and on and on throughout his time on the show. Also, something else that the show did good that I see a lot of shows do very well is they introduce a character and they're not there for a long time, but they're there for a good time. Excuse me. And that character, Dresden, he starts off as an enemy and becomes friend, ally to Spartacus all within 30 minutes. And to me, it's kind of like a precursor to Crixus. Other shows that have done this, look at Game of Thrones. I think it was season 6 when they introduced the wildlings. I can't think of the one guy's name. He had his head shaved with the scars, had the big ass axe, and they introduced the female. I think her name was Carsey. They were there for one episode, but damn, they made a hell of an impact, and they were characters like shit. I wish they would have stuck around. And this Dresden guy, I wish he would have survived. I like this character for the little bit we got. So I like that introduction. Now, where the where some of the low lights are, the CGI. The CGI. Some of those scenes, the backgrounds, they look like PlayStation 1 cutscenes. And if I'm being nice, maybe PlayStation 2. But they looked awful. And then, like I said, the influence not only of Gladiator, but 300. You got unnecessary. I mean, this guy, whoever was doing these first two couple of episodes, straight up Zack Snyder school of unnecessary slow mo. Like there was way too much slow mo. It didn't need to be there. And of course, the stylized blood. I mean, like I said, for me, I remember when this came out, I watched the first episode or two, and then I just stepped away. And then maybe probably like 6 weeks went by, and then I had nothing going on or something, and I just binged it. And that's the thing about this show. It starts off kind of but it builds up. And so yeah, I'm starting like watching it again. I'm starting to get a I'm going back down memory lane on like, damn, I see why I stepped away from this. But not knowing the best was yet to come, which I know now. But yeah, all in all, like I said, it was a pretty good episode. It's just like when you see somebody like Andy Whitfield, man, you're just left with what could have been, man. I'm wondering, like, and no disrespect to Liam McIntyre as Spartacus, no disrespect to him, but I look at that and I just go, man, what could have been? How would he have played it? I mean, because a lot of Andy's what he does, it's in the eyes. It's in the eyes. Like he does a lot of his emoting with his eyes, and it's no boisterous speeches or anything like that, at least right now. But like he's just man, just it's all in the eyes, and you just can't help looking at the guy on screen. Pause. But yeah, so yeah, guys, that's kind of my thoughts with the first episode. Like I think I got 12 more to go. So guys, like I always say, if it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes, or the whole damn video, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view my content. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe, smash the like, get in the comments, tell me what you thought. Of course, hit that hype button if it's available. And guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy.